Right, I don't know about anyone else, but I am utterly sick and tired to my back teeth by now of Suella Braverman and the gleefulness she has shown every time she talks about deporting refugees. And unfortunately, we're getting a lot of that at this moment in time because she has swanned off to Rwanda on a publicly funded junket to sell her depraved plans, which have so far cost the public purse millions, despite every deportation flight booked having been blocked because they have all contravened human rights and refugee legislation that we're signed up to. Braverman is the sort of person who will pose for pictures like this when it comes to the issue of refugees. What the hell is wrong with this person? What is wrong with her? She looks like she's invoking her inner Skeletor there, though at least he showed the occasional flicker of humanity. Never in my born days have I heard somebody talking about deporting people fleeing war zones with such happiness. In a video clip by GB News, she said, "We're actually delighted and excited about our partnership with Rwanda to be creating a vibrant community here, to be a positive, secure, beautiful haven and home for many thousands of people." She said it all with a smile on her face. You'd think she was talking about some sort of social housing development to deal with the housing crisis here, wouldn't you? It's amazing that we can help fund houses being built in Africa instead, though, isn't it? Sorry if you're stuck on a housing list here and have been homeless technically for years, but Tory priorities, eh? She was also reported to have commented that she was so impressed by the accommodation being built there that she wanted to use the interior designer herself. How droll. Many thousands of people to be deported, though. This is what she's saying. Eh? Rwanda has thus far committed to taking just 500 people. We, in turn, have to take refugees from them that they don't want, and they have already stated that they don't want any refugees being sent there from Afghanistan, Yemen, or Syria. So it's all conditional as well as expensive. We have so far paid them £140 million. That's £280,000 per head for each of those 500 refugees. And so far, we've not sent a single one of them. This is costing the public purse an insane amount of money, delivering nothing except much potential misery and expense, and just stokes up Braverman's depraved desire to heap cruelty on people already at their lowest ebb. And her party drive a culture war to win the votes of society's racists. Let's be honest about that. Unable to stand on their track record of 13 years of economic and social failure. Braverman, of course, knows all of this. Of course she knows all this. She can't not know it. And this is why I've had to resort to the equivalent of bleaching my own eyeballs, watching footage provided by GB News, the word news very much in inverted commas there. She blocked all manner of media outlets from going with her, lest they, dare report things in a way that runs contrary to what she wants them to promote, to that racist culture war she's pushing for. GB News went along, Braverman managing to get more of them on a plane to Rwanda than migrants, of course, though people could argue who they'd rather see deported more. Also attending were representatives of the Tory graft and the fail. I can't imagine why she let those lot come along. Those blocked from attending, though, included The Guardian, The Independent, The Mirror, The Eye, and even the Tory-run BBC. Still not Tory enough for someone as hard-right as Leaky Sue, though a local BBC team were permitted to attend in the end. And this prompted a response from Index on Censorship. If you haven't heard of them, they are a freedom of expression advocacy group who issued a statement in response to this picking and choosing over who gets to cover the trip by saying, "We are concerned to hear that journalists judged to be critical of the government's immigration policy have not been invited. Democracy depends on an open and transparent relationship between government and the media, where all journalists are able to scrutinise the government." Of course, that is true. But democracy isn't for the Tories anymore. And you'll find that out if you haven't got the message already, come the need for ID at those May local elections that are coming up very soon. The refugee campaign group Freedom from Torture, who have commented on this numerous times now, haven't minced their words over Braverman's jolly junket at this time either, referring to it as a showboating trip, still determined to sell this to the British public despite it appalling anyone with an ounce of empathy. How much coverage of war on the news can we all be fed from time to time and not have sympathy with the victims of it? It seems Braverman is the sort to get the popcorn in the moment the words on the news, "You might find some scenes upsetting," get uttered from the presenter. Freedom from Torture have come up with the best description I've seen yet for these plans, calling it cash for humans. It's absolutely true. We're paying millions to have people who have entered this country by boat to seek asylum deported to another country. Why is this the Tories' preference? Why is it so difficult for them to accept being part of an asylum seeker resettlement scheme, as we were when part of the EU, as we still could be, since you don't need to be a member of the EU to have a returns policy with them to share the load in rehoming those who have lost everything and have won their right to asylum? The Tories simply don't want any such desperate people here. They have no value in their minds. Full stop. That's the only explanation. It's the only possible explanation anybody can come up with for why they're going in the direction they are going. They don't want to take a fair share of these people at all. Ukraine? That's fine. That's politically expedient. People whose lives have been bombed out of existence elsewhere, likely in part due to weapons sales we've made somewhere or other, coming here, people we may well have had a hand in destroying the lives of as a result, want to put the boot in further by sending them to a country in the middle of Africa, washing our hands of them instead. For all we know, they'll be escaping war again very soon if they do get sent there, as tensions rise in Rwanda against the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and war between the two nations seems likelier day by day. But don't let Braverman distract you over such minor details like that. It's a safe country, you understand. She keeps saying it's safe. It must be safe. Anyway, this desperation to sell their point of view, unchallenged to the British public, isn't working, though. Braverman is about as likeable to most of the people in this country as our electric bills are right now, so making her the face of anything isn't going to be the most effective sales pitch. But with others like Gary Lineker and numerous others in the public eye speaking out against this too, gagging certain sectors of the press really isn't going to help them push this either. Aside from all of the public perception, though, aside from Braverman's joy at being able to deport the wrong sort of migrants, the non-economic ones, the legal fact of the matter is that the illegal migration bill, currently being scrutinised at committee stage, even if it gets passed by the depraved pieces of shit that have the temerity to call themselves representatives of the British people on the Tory benches, with the majority their party holds, there is no way it will be accepted internationally, being in violation of those aforesaid refugee conventions and Human Rights Act. The Tories know this as well. So whilst they're busy peddling hatred to the knuckle draggers in our society, they're also still mumbling about taking us out of those international conventions in order to ram this through. That's our human rights then. That's our protections then being removed. And if you think they won't be used against us, so remember the very sage, very salient quote attributed to Gandhi that a nation's greatness is measured by how it treats its weakest. And although we're talking migrants here and now, before Brexit, it was the long-term sick, the disabled, the unemployed. They will always find another target to stoke a them and us mentality to keep themselves in power by keeping us divided, running this country in their interests only and nobody else's. Greatness. What would be so great about Great Britain then? It's migrants today, it'll be someone else tomorrow, as Suella Braverman will be doing her Skeletor impression over somebody else. Maybe it'll be you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit like and subscribe, leave a comment and hit the notification bell too so you don't miss the next one. Also look out for me on social media and other interesting stuff by clicking on that Linktree link in the comments below. And I will see you next time. Cheers, folks.